Okay, so just when you thought your 2025 holiday plans were all set, surprise! The calendar just changed. It looks like Christmas might be coming with a couple of extra days off, but, and this is a big but, only for some people. So what on earth just happened? Let's get into it.
So let's just get right to the big question, right? Did your Christmas holiday just get a whole lot longer? Well, for a very specific group of people, the answer is a big yes. For most of us, though, it's a very different story.
All right, first up, the holiday surprise itself. Let's take a look at the presidential order that kicked this whole thing off.
So here's the headline news. President Trump signed an executive order making both Christmas Eve, that's December 24th, and the day after Christmas, December 26th, federal holidays for 2025. Now, since Christmas falls on a Thursday that year, this move basically creates a sweet 4-day weekend for some folks.
Okay, so who are these lucky people getting that 4-day weekend? Who actually gets the time off? Let's dig into the all-important fine print of this executive order. And here is the absolute crucial detail. This order is aimed squarely at federal government employees. So, if you work for a private company, chances are this doesn't change a thing for your schedule. Private businesses, they're not required to close. Your best bet is always to check directly with your employer to be sure.
And this chart, well, it really shows you the real-world impact pretty clearly. While Christmas Day itself will see pretty much everything closed, on December 24th and 26th, it is business as usual for most essential services. The Postal Service, yep, they'll be out there delivering mail. Banks will be open, and all the major retailers will be running.
So, you might be wondering, how is it even possible to just create a holiday for just 1 year? Well, that brings us to the key difference here, why this is a temporary thing and not a permanent change to our calendars.
What we're looking at here is something called an executive order holiday. Basically, it's a tool a president can use to grant a one-time day off, and it's almost always just for the federal workforce. By its very nature, it's temporary. It's a one-and-done deal.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting when you see the contrast. To make a holiday permanent, think about Juneteenth, which was added back in 2021. That requires an entire act of Congress. A bill has to pass both the House and the Senate and then get signed by the president. An executive order, on the other hand, is a direct, but temporary, action from the president alone.
And you know what? This isn't some new or crazy thing. It's actually a pretty common move for presidents, and it's not a partisan thing either. President Obama did it in 2014, and President Trump himself has done it before, back in 2019 and 2020.
But this is where our story takes a really fascinating turn, because this action seems to stand in direct contrast to some very recent and very strong statements from the president himself.
What makes this whole situation so interesting is that just a few months ago, President Trump was publicly arguing that the U.S. has too many holidays. So, how do we square that circle with this new order?
And I'm not paraphrasing. This was a very direct quote from a post he made back in May of this year. He wrote, "We already have too many holidays in America. There are not enough days left in the year. We were workers then, and we are workers now." I mean, that's a pretty clear statement.
And this wasn't just some one-off comment either. He has specifically called out Juneteenth as one of too many non-working holidays. He stated that these extra days off cost the country billions of dollars. And he even claimed that, get this, the workers don't want it either.
So after all that, what are the key takeaways here? Let's bring this all back home and summarize what this whole holiday surprise actually means for you.
Okay, here it is, boiled right down. Number 1, if you're a federal employee, hey, congratulations on the 4-day weekend. Number 2, for pretty much everyone else, December 24th and 26th are just going to be normal workdays. And number 3, expect your mail to show up, your bank to be open, and stores to be running just like any other day.
So, where does that actually leave us? Well, as of 2025, there are 12 official, permanent federal holidays on the books. These 2 new days are just a temporary bonus, and again, only for a very select group.
And that leaves us with this final thought-provoking question, doesn't it? We've seen a political action that seems to fly directly in the face of a really strong public statement. It's a classic case of watching what politicians do, not just what they say. And, well, how you interpret that is really something to think about. Thanks for joining me.